Annyeonghaseyo friends, and welcome back to the Torsie channel for more IU, and thank God it's Friday. Yes, I feel like I need to wear this every Friday. Also every other day, so I can make every other day feel like Friday. Would that make sense? Maybe. As you may or may not know, this is part of my merch collection, which can be found on Redbubble. The link to that is in the description. I do enjoy being twinsies with people, so if you'd like to be twinsies with me, you can pop on over to Redbubble and we can twin together. We have part 2 of our Modern Times full album listen going on today. That means The Red Shoes, Modern Times, and Bad Day. But first, we are going to be looking at some little trailers because I had no idea that they existed until I was told after part 1. Thank you very much. So we're going to catch up on the teasers from part 1, and we're going to look at the teasers for part 2, and then we're going to get into the 3 songs from the album, which I'm very much looking forward to listening to. That part 1 was amazing. Over on Patreon today, we're going to have some IU TV. We've had quite a bit of IU TV over on Patreon. Very much enjoying it, as well as watching My Mister. Episode 6 was this week, and I mean, there were tears, obviously. We've got so much to do with Modern Times. Let's just get straight into it. Get it. The Red Shoes. Oh. The Gypsy Jazz.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, someone had a rough night. The attitude. Oh, the attitude. I just live for actress Aegean. I think she is freaking sensational. And let's get more of that in our veins. Everybody has secrets. Let's go. Gotcha. This is so cool. What else is here? Oh, there's secret. Oh, get out. Just take my heart. Just take it. Wow. Wow. God, I can't breathe. I think it's one of the most impressive things about IU as a performer on stage and on camera. It's the fearless eye contact. She has no problem just looking straight down the barrel of the camera. She knows we're looking. She knows she's got us. It's like having a hook straight into the side of the mouth. It's amazing. A lot of people can't do that, and it's so freaking compelling. Oh God, my heart. What am I supposed to do with that? I mean, I'm happy we're watching this, and at the same time, why are you torturing me like this? Why have you done this to me? Okay, between the lips, let's go. Oh, there's Havana. I just love this. This is just so cool.
제발 넘지 말아요 두 입술 사이 거린 아직까지 10cm 달콤한 말로 그 말로 제발 흔한 여자로 만들지 말아주세요 두 입술 사이 아직도 10cm
Oh my God. I think I might die. These are gonna kill me. These are gonna kill me. Also, who's directing these? Well done. Well done. That is... Oof. Ooh. They are beautiful. All right, we've got the trailers for this week. We have The Red Shoes and then Modern Times. Let's go catch it. Why not? Why not two pianos? Beatnik Party? Cool.
길을 잃었다.
Ooh. Ooh. Is a terrifying end to that. These are really building a mood, aren't they? A whole mood is being made through these. I'm so compelled. I want to watch the movie that these are teasing. You know what I mean? It feels like there's a whole universe going on here. It's like, okay, I could watch 3 hours of this. Just keep going. Just keep trying to see everything all at once. This is so cool.
유쾌한 걸음 새까만 코수염 어딜 바삐가 나또 먼 일이 언젠가 보면
Look how cute she is. I can't believe they put her into that video. That's outrageous. Oh, that's outrageous. Let's go. Let's get into the next 3 songs on the album, and we're starting with The Red Shoes.
길을 잃었다. 어딜 가야 할까? 12개로 갈린 서당난 골목길 어딜 가면 너를 다시 만날까? 운명으로 친다면 내 운명을 고르자면 눈을 감고 걸어도 맞는 길을 걸지 사라져버렸어 one time 너의 두 눈이 나를 비추던 so one time 기다리기만 하는 내가 아냐 나를 찾아두고 내게 돌아올 so one time 찬바람 불면 그냥 두 눈 감기로 해 What's the time? So time 엄빠름빠름 두비두바던 슬프지 않아 춤을 춘다 다시 길을 찾아 떠난 갈색 머리 아가씨는 다시 사랑에 빠졌고 행복했더라도 처음부터 다시 쓰는 이야기 전부 둘 신으면 더 좋은 데로 간다면 멈춰지지 않도록 너를 찾을 때까지 사라져버렸어 one time 너의 두 눈이 나를 비추던 so one time 기다리기만 하는 내가 아냐 나를 찾아두고 내게 돌아올 so one time 찬바람 불면 그냥 두 눈 감기로 해 What's the time? So one time 엄빠름빠름 두비두바도 멈추지 않아 춤을 춘다 다시
My favorite part.
나의 발이 자꾸 맘대로 춤 All my pink shoes All my 난 마음 자꾸 제대로 you 야야 좀 더 빠르게
Yes! What a song! It's so Benny Goodman at the start, that drum intro. So very Benny Goodman, Sing Sing Sing, his version of Sing Sing Sing, which was very pacey and meant for dancing. Absolutely meant for dancing. I look forward to looking more into those lyrics because IU does have a habit of likening stages of her life to the seasons. So summertime would feel like the best of her youth, therefore what one might consider the best of herself before moving on into other seasons that may be a downturn in her life or maybe aging or something like that. And whether the chase that she's talking about is chasing more of holding on to her youth, more of holding on to that peak time of her life, or truly a person. But the dancing, I love that in the trailer they had the red shoes, but the red shoes weren't just any red shoes, they were character shoes. Those are dancing shoes. They're very specifically meant for dancing and usually on the stage. So it is about, as she says in the lyrics, keeping up the dance and I'll keep dancing. And then for it to keep going, which is again a very Benny Goodman style to suddenly pick up the end like that and make the pace, make the pace, make the pace, and then and that's the end of the song. It's a really fun big band version of jazz. I love big band jazz. I love it a lot. That Tashi moment, or is especially at the end when it speeds up and it gets faster and faster, it makes me so excited, which is so the point, so very much the point where you're like, okay, we're on our way, let's go. I enjoyed so much. Modern times, let's get into it. Have you noticed yet that when I get excited about things, I sing what it is that I should be saying? Let's get into modern times. Katja.
유쾌한 가을은 새까만 코스염 어딜 바삐가 나또 먼 일이 시계토끼처럼 느긋한 얼굴로 나를 지나쳐가요 난 그댈 알아 그댄 날 몰라 늘 같은 시간 우린 같은 길을 걷는데 시간 좀 내요 얘기 좀 해요 한마디 없이 꼭 담은 입술 나 그 목소리를 꼭 들래요 다음에 보면 꼭 인사해요 또 봐요 미스터 채플린 바람에 날린 동그란 저 모자 달리기를 한다 왜 서둘러 시계톱니처럼 똑같은 모퉁이 돌아 돌아 뛰네요 어디서 와서 어디로 갈까 말고도 궁금한 게 이렇게나 많은데 잠시만 서서 얘기 좀 해요 한마디 없이 꼭 담은 입술 나 그 목소리를 꼭 들래요 다음에 보면 꼭 인사해요 또 봐요 미스터 채플린 얼굴 무슨 일이 있나요 말 건네면 대답할까요 나는 알아요 슬픈 그댈 온 세상 사람들 그대를 보면서 웃어도 못 살게 구는 사람들 없는 먼 길 떠났다고 난 믿래요 이젠 웃어요 다 괜찮아요 또 봐요 미스터 채플린 그대가 부른 즐거운 넌센스 나 슬픈 날엔 꼭 그 노래요
Oh, that took a turn.
언젠가 보면 꼭 인사해요 또 봐요 미스터 채플린 꼭 봐요 미스터 채플린 그 이름도 내겐
does she do that? Having a jolly good time, and then it turns out that the lyrics are surprisingly sad. I genuinely can't remember whether I've mentioned this film before when thinking about modern times, but that song in particular obviously made me think of it. There is this film that nobody else knows about, and everybody should watch it. It's called The Cat's Meow, with Kirsten Dunst and Eddie Izzard, and Eddie Izzard plays Charlie Chaplin in it. And that music was reminding me so much. They've set it so beautifully. It's on a cruise going down a river, and all the music is that, and it's all very flapper dresses and dancing like this, and lots of this stuff as you do to that kind of music, because it is that Weimar Republic style tune. For those unaware, the Weimar Republic was the time, specifically in Germany, between World War One and World War Two. So the musical Cabaret is set during the Weimar Republic, and it was a period of time where there was enormous freedom and expression and music that made you dance like this. Lots of jazz clarinet, just like that. I love a bit of jazz clarinet. There was more expression of sexuality that had ever been before. It was the freedom and the relief of being out of a war, and one of the things that was shut down and destroyed quickest as they moved into the next war. But that whole period of music, and of course it bled into other areas, and you can hear that style of music from lots of different places in the world, was all very much cabaret, vaudeville. It was all about light entertainment and being free and dancing, and kind of this like shake your blues away style of music, which is a really interesting choice for a song that's about someone who won't talk and won't interact, and now they've gone somewhere and we're doing it in a pleasant manner. But the suggestion of I hope you've gone somewhere where you can smile now is fairly obvious as a lyric. Perhaps this is a reflection of our modern times and our generation's struggle with talking about certain issues. Our generation uniquely has a thing called phone anxiety, where we don't want to answer a ringing phone or make a phone call. We have genuine anxiety about talking, our difficulty expressing to each other how we might be feeling, a sense that we could be miming, pretending, playing our way through our life when something else is happening underneath, as Chaplin, being a vaudevillian physical comic in the era of silent film, his entire thing was quite literally not talking, and therefore we are telegraphing, mugging, dancing, pretending something without speaking about whatever it is that's actually happening behind that, which isn't unique to any one generation, but I do think having more tools of communication available to us than ever before, and therefore more anxieties about communication than ever before, it definitely exacerbates what is usually a problem for anyone anyway, just communicating one's feelings. Interesting auditory and lyric metaphor going on there, as one would expect from somebody as clever as IU. And then we take a turn into what is sadness, and that is Bad Day. Let's get into it. Gotcha.
점점 느려지는 발걸음 동네 몇 바퀴를 빙빙 돌다 결국 도착한 대문 앞에 서서 열쇠를 만지작 아무 소리도 없는 밤 그 안에 난 외톨이 좋겠네. 텅 빈 놀이터 벤치에 누군가 다녀간 온기 왜 따뜻함이 날 더 춥게 만드는 거야 웅크린 어깨에 얼굴을 못 닦아 주머니 속에 감춘 두 손이 시리는 바람이 불어 이불을 끌어당겨도 더 파고든 바람이 구석구석 춥게 만들어 정원이 꺼진 것 같은 해쳐도 없는 창밖을 바라보며 의미 없는 숨을 쉬고 한겨울보다 차가운 내 방 손끝까지 시린 공기 봄이 오지 않으면 그게 차라리 내 방구들은 더 녹을까 햇볕 드는 좋은 날 오면
We have looked at Bad Day before, how that she had written about having a bad day and not wanting to go home. And I spoke at the time, but I will reiterate in case you haven't seen it, that the two halves of the song, there is one half where she's having a bad day and feels like the rest of the world should be having a bad day with her, and it's jarring that people might be laughing on the TV. I said, and stand by my point, that when you're having a bad time, when you're having a really hard time, one or two things happens. Either you seem to see everything in the world that is also difficult and painful, or you only see everything that is the opposite. The whole world seems bright and happy and totally incongruous, and it's confusing and upsetting that the sun is shining when you're in this much pain. If you've ever lost anybody, if somebody you care about around you has passed away, either it rains and you think, yes, this feels right, or the sun shines and you think, why is the sun shining? How dare the sun shine when I feel like this? That's probably the most obvious situation any of us might have been in, where we notice the world like that. And before the band kicks in, that half of the song, she is talking about, why are people laughing and the world isn't matching her mood. And then after the na-na-nas and the band break, we come back in, the world is more reflective of her mood. There's icicles in her room. She's cold. Nothing can stop the cold. And we have the return to the season metaphor that the warmer months are gone, and will the icicles melt when she has a good day, meaning the warmer months return again. Like so much of her stuff, it is infinitely recognizable. The days where we have such a hard time that the most ordinary of things is incredibly difficult, like just going home and not really knowing where to put yourself in the world, that you might find comfort, a park bench, under a lamppost, in your bed. All of it is uncomfortable because the bad day is living inside of you and nothing external can erase it. When she does those close harmonies like that, it's the same as in Knees. It's so emotive, it's so painful, and cutting back and forward between the voices. I was about to say it sounds like her sort of inner and external voice, and she did that in another way as well in this song, where a second voice came in that was not as loud and as clear as the primary voice in it. And it was the running inner monologue of, I try to get into bed, but everything's still cold, and it's cold in the nook and crannies, and I can't get warm no matter how much I snuggle in. And it's this kind of tumbling list, just a train of thought, an inner monologue of what she's doing and how she's trying to get through, but nothing's working. And then her primary voice comes back in again, much louder and clearer than the secondary one, which is speaking to that loneliness of who else are you going to talk to but yourself. When you're in this position, there's nothing anyone else can say. Talking to other people is difficult, so you talk to yourself. Really beautiful, and I can see how one could find it a bit of an outlier compared to the other 5 songs that we've listened to so far. The rest of them are of a genre, of an era, and this one might not necessarily sound like it, but she has a fair few. It's a slow swing note, but she does have a swing note in there, so the influence of jazz is not gone, but also it fits in with, like I was saying, the other songs using any kind of metaphor of time or season to express her different forms of time and feeling in her life. And she's done that again in Bad Day, talking about being in the colder months now and waiting for the warmer months to hopefully come back again, or the warm months are gone and maybe with a good day they will come back. So certainly thematically it continues on with the album. I'm just loving this so much. I'm really loving this. I can see why so many of you have commented that this is your favorite album. I can completely and utterly see why. It's diverse, it's interesting, it's musically so clever, lyrically so clever. I was just doing a little mind exercise to myself, thinking if I was asked by someone to give them one album from all of my favorites to introduce them, what album would I recommend? Which is incredibly difficult because we love them all, right? Or we have a couple of favorites. How do you choose just one? And even though Chatshe is my favorite album, I think Modern Times would probably be the album I would tell somebody to listen to from IU, because it's such a good example of the breadth of her abilities, her skill as a performer and intelligence as a writer, her musical, literary and artistic illusion ability that she feeds through so much of her work. It's a pretty good showcase of who she is as an artist and what she's capable of, and a fair amount of range and different styles. This would probably be the album that I would hand to somebody if I said, you need to understand who IU is, here, listen to that. Well, that ran the gambit today, didn't it? We went from like pretty thrilling teaser trailers to boppy music with a twist in the lyrics and then a good kick in the heart, and yep, that sounds like IU. Taking us for a ride, as she likes to do. Alrighty, well, I'm going to be popping over to Patreon for some IU TV. If you'd like to join us over there, the link is in the description. We will have part 3 of the Modern Times album coming out soon, and I will do an extra part that will be all of the extra songs that were on Modern Times Epilogue. So we will follow on, we'll do a mashup of both of the albums to make sure we cover off everything. And then we'll get to go back to any music videos, and I have been told that there are certain music videos that I have to watch in conjunction with each other. We will do that as well. But if also there are any live performances of anything that's on the Modern Times album that you would love us to watch, please do pop it in the comments. It'll go straight on the list, and once we've finished with the album listen, we will come back to that. Also, if you are watching this on the exact day, happy 1 year to Lilac! And we all do the Lilac move. Thank you so much for joining me for another Friday day. 감사합니다. 사랑해요. And I will see you soon for more. 안녕!